Most people assume realtors get into real estate for the money, the flexibility, or the love of the houses. And don't get me wrong, those are definitely perks of the career, but for me, it actually started completely different. Today, I want to take a step back from my usual tips and market updates and actually share with you something a little bit more personal, why I chose this path and why I still get up every morning fired up to do this, to help people find their dream homes. Whether you're curious about real estate or just wondering who I am behind the listings, this one's for you. So my story starts, I'm originally from Labrador. I moved to the greater Moncton area a little more than 10 years ago to follow the fitness industry and use my degree of human kinetics and started out training people in fitness. But for me, that path to real estate didn't come out of nowhere. It was something I was always drawn to, whether I was in the fitness industry or not. While I was running my own gym, which I did for multiple years, I'd find myself watching how homes were built, how neighborhoods evolved, and how people dreamed about the next chapter of their lives. I spent over 15 years in the fitness industry, helping people transform mentally, physically, and emotionally. And one thing that I truly learned in that time is that people don't just want a goal. They want a guide to help them get to where they want to go. That's definitely something I've carried into real estate, helping people believe they can move forward even when they don't feel ready to. I also wanted a career that allowed me to take control of my time and my life. Owning a gym meant early mornings, late nights, and sacrifice at times. And my daughter Willow was born with Pallister-Killian syndrome. I knew I needed more flexibility, not just for her medical needs, but to be present at home. After a major scare with her, that is actually when I made the jump to get into the real estate industry. Then there's my son, Tatum. He's passionate, driven, chasing big dreams of his own. And I realized if I wanted him to chase his goals fully, I need to show him what it looks like to do the exact same. So to bet on myself, to bet on himself, to take the leap, to choose purpose over comfort. And that's exactly why I became a realtor. Not just because I love homes, but because I love what the home represents. It's the starting line of so many dreams, and I get to help people cross it one step at a time. It's something that allows me to guide them, show them, and let them know that I'm going to be there every step of the way. So let's get into the facts of how I actually got started and got that push to move into the industry. As I mentioned, my daughter had a major health scare in 2020 that made me realize that tomorrow is not a given. So I got licensed that year after months of back and forth. And honestly, I was still on the fence and I had doubts. Can I really start over after 15 years in something else? Can I make this work for my family? Then my wife, Megan, gave me the push that I needed. She has always been the rock. She's always been the biggest supporter in my eyes, in my mind, and behind. She looked at me and let me know, you've always helped people. Why wouldn't this be any different? She's been my rock, as I mentioned, through everything that I do, raising our kids, shifting careers, moving from province to province, and showing up on the hardest days when I doubted myself. She's always been there. As for this career, I might have chosen it, but I wouldn't have had the courage to start without her giving me that nudge. So from there, I made the leap. I jumped right in. Since I lived in Dieppe, it only made sense to make the greater Moncton area my market because I know the community, believe in it, and I want to see growth in it. Now I'm aligned with eXp Realty, a brokerage that gave me the tools and mentorship that I needed. I was originally with Exit Realty, which was a great brokerage and supplied trust and support for me. I started working with buyers, especially families relocating, first-time home buyers, and anyone who needed someone patient, responsive, and real. That foundation has not changed over the past 5 years, and it is this business that is about building trust before anything else is why I do what I do. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been some hard times, some fun moments, and plenty of things that have went right and went wrong. So let's be real. In this industry, not every day is glamorous. Sometimes you're having to get up in the middle of winter, shoveling a path to your vehicle, shoveling the end of the driveway, 5, 6 in the morning to ensure that you get to where you need to go. Sometimes you spend 2 weeks showing homes to someone who just ends up renting. Or even you're up late negotiating while trying to juggle the bedtime routines. Luckily now, with the support Megan's given me, I was able to focus on the negotiations. But then there's the other moments, the happy moments, the ones where a family gets to hug one another in their new kitchen, or to look when a first-time home buyer gets their keys handed over to them, or even when someone tells me, "You made this process feel easy." Those moments, that is absolute gold and why I do what I do. And don't get me wrong, there's been times where clients have had a laugh at my expense. And if you're here for that laugh, there's been times where I've slipped on ice, gotten locked out of listings, and even FaceTimed the client while I was in the middle of a grocery run, just because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So this job keeps me humble and it keeps me human. But more importantly, what keeps me going day in, day out, no matter what it is my rock, my support, Megan, my family behind me, Megan, Tatum, Willow. That's the truth of what keeps me going. It's not the numbers. It never has been. It's the names. My family, my clients. Those names of the families that I've helped relocate to Moncton from all across the country. The names of single parents who I've helped get them into the home where it was their first home. Or even the names of the kids now riding bikes in their new neighborhoods that I helped their parents discover. It's not the hustle that fuels me. It's the people, the relationships, and the impact that I get to make on each one of them. That's why my business is built on 3 pillars: clear guidance, local expertise, and trusted results. That is who I am. That is what I stand for. This just isn't my career. It's my calling and why I do what I do day in, day out, so I can help people just like you find their home. If you've watched this far, thank you very much. I hope that I've been able to give you some insight into who the person behind the listings is. This wasn't a list or a tip video. This is real. This is who I am. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or relocating to Moncton, or even just curious what the next steps look like, reach out. I'm here. No pressure, no push, just a real conversation to help you get started or to know what the next steps are. People like you reach out to me every single week, and it's one of the best parts of what I do. So call, text, email, or drop a comment. I'd love to connect. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this, where I get to help share and guide in the greater Moncton area. Because when you find someone who sees you, hears you, and guides you, that's when real estate feels like home. As I said, clear guidance, local expertise, trusted results. That is what you get when you work with me. And that's why I get up every single day doing what I do.